a credibility
But then that
problem
letter came out, we saw an alteration on the letter.
Good, an alteration, but the alteration is another thing. Was there an original? In the first place, what brought about the letter of resignation? If you resign a letter and there was alteration, why did you do it in the first place? Why did you even deny ever doing it? So if there's alteration, it's even a non-issue. In the first place, you wrote this letter of resignation and you denied it. I remember even challenging Mike Ume that time. I said, okay, if you kept on saying that the man resigned, and the man is saying that, and some of us who stood by him, he even hid it from us. And that is really a very, very painful aspect. You stood by somebody, fighting his cause, thinking that he was wronged in a way, but he was doing something behind you that he did not even tell you. So why should you go and be defending somebody, arguing a matter that the person who is the subject matter of it is even hiding some fundamental issues like resignation from you? Now, when they say there were alteration, he has the fundamental issue is that he has signed a letter. So he couldn't have denied it. Yes, I have resigned, I have transmitted a letter, but the letter being in circulation is not the one that I resigned. That would have been better. Yeah. But for you to completely deny it until the 26th of August, when the Congress, properly convened Congress in Chida, came up when the letter was read to the public. We said it, publish it to us. They could not publish it until that very day. Now, when he went back to work, when he went back to office, remember, they even when the threats of the impeachment from his colleagues was coming in, they went into Chida just some few days before the Salah break. They were there with some of his colleagues. There were allegations that all of them were bribed $10,000 each. And one of them collected all this money, and the next thing was that they head to that meeting. And when they went to that meeting, they now cornered him and deceived him, and he went to convene the meeting. He sat down. Then the next thing, they started to read impeachment notice, which was wrong. Then they themselves who really served him the impeachment notice. The statute says it's subject to Congress endorsement. You fail to call a Congress. Now, some group of stakeholders, members of the Congress, under a non-properly convened Congress, sat down in a hotel called Sibop and drew up a resolutions that they were against the impeachment process of Maigari, which they transmitted to FIFA. Now, even everybody has also discountenanced that one. That was the time when the Secretary General of NFF said he was kidnapped for 2 days. He disappeared for 2 days, only to live twice like James Bond with a letter saying that, which letter that he has already transmitted to FIFA also from the Secretariat, that Maigari was impeached due to financial mismanagement. Now, these are the people who have regrouped together now fighting with one boys. Maigari himself, instead of him to be fighting the prejudice that has been called his person and his name, now he went to regroup with these same people who has slandered his name, his family, and this is on record till he dies, until such a day that he vacates all these allegations. We will continue to ask him questions about it. Now, these are the people that he's now dining and whining with. Now, away from that, they now came back. The crisis was so much, and the minister was out of the country, I think. Then the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, who is the clearinghouse of government business, called for a meeting to intervene. They sat down, all of them, they agreed that on the 26th that you say you are supposed to have a Congress, go there and treat only 3 items on the agenda. Number one, shift the election date, because the electoral codes of the NFF itself has been breached somehow. Check for a new election date. Those contentious 2 members of the electoral committee and appeal committee that were removed, return them. Then lastly, open the system for everybody to go and buy forms to participate. Then suddenly, in the evening, before the Congress of 26, Maigari and his group, they went now, because of some personal interest, and sat down in the night and perfect plans that on that 26, they will extend Maigari's tenure to December. Secondly, they are going to dissolve the electoral committee and appoint a new one. Then thirdly, they will open up the system. And like I said, they agreed to open up the system because there are some people they have anointed. They want them to come in, which Maigari himself knows them. Secondly, you want to dissolve the electoral committee to bring new ones because the one you put before has not been doing your bidding. You nominated somebody, other electoral committee chairman, the committee which was appointed. That list was sent to FIFA about 5 months ago is with FIFA's domain. Then, because he's not doing what you want, the script you have written, you now wanted to dissolve him, to now change and say he has lost credibility or whatever. Now,
let me just cut you because
yes,
the issues are before us. But I'm trying to look for a way out of this because first we're going to be under serious threat from FIFA to get a ban. We're getting ready for AFCON. We are now saying we have two factions. One is on Maigari's side, another is on Giwa. What can we do?
The implications, or rather the minus, you see, Giwa-led group, they were so smart. They capitalize on the ignorance of those who are fighting them. There are certain technicalities which the other side ignored. You said you are the majority, 43 to 1, and you abandon the venue of the Congress for one person and leave and go and set up a parallel Congress. That is funny. Secondly, there was accreditation before even the Congress started. So you got accredited that you want to participate in the Congress. And even after the Secretary General appeared, there was a roll call, and they have 29. And they started to say 50 plus 1, which means half of the number plus 1. So you need 23 plus 1, and they have 29 decent people. And again, some people who joined them in Chida campaigned for votes. Voting started, they were losing, they now left and go and swell the number at the other side. But
there was not supposed to be an election. That's the problem.
Wait. Only Congress changes a Congress decision. Congress in Warri decided that there will be election on 26, and no other Congress was convened to change that decision. So even if you want to change it, you have to sit down in that same venue in Chida to move for a motion to tamper with the agenda of Warri Congress. But even that one has to be a consensus. You have to do a lot of lobbying because it's not supposed to be discussed that very day. It's not negotiable. You cannot just invite me for a meeting. I have decided for a business of a meeting that has been predetermined about 4 months ago, only on the floor, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to say, change it, let me do another thing. It doesn't work that way. So they have missed the target, and now it's now haunting them. Now, let me even take you to another angle. The same Mike Ume, who acted for Maigari after he was who contested with Giwa. He was called to address the Congress. He addressed the Congress. Giwa addressed the Congress. Then later, voting started, and he found out that he was losing votes. The next thing, he now moved to the other side. Now, the way out, like you said, let me tell you, number one, fundamentally, FIFA, who wrote that letter, that suspicious letter, that letter is a language of Nigerians. It's a language of Nigerians. Produced here, or rather, crafted here and produced abroad. Imported back. Good, we have seen it. They agreed that there were factions. When you say there are factions, you must listen to all factions. The only reason was that an agreed. So, right now, what FIFA should do is to also listen to
what's going on.
Giwa's faction. And let me tell you, I like the courage of Giwa. He moved in there. They asked him to leave. He was asked to vacate. He stayed there. Not only there, he took some fundamental decisions by dissolving the so-called LMC that has been beclouded with contractors, because they are never advancing forward. They are just contractors.
Sadly, it's a live show, and I need to cut you, but we'll continue this discussion via recording so we can actually have you on our later show. Thank you so much for coming. We're trying to understand the issues. When you have a time again, I'll bring you here so we'll talk more on these issues. Thanks so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, that's it, Mr. Shuiabu Gara Gombe, as we're talking to us on the issues going on in Nigerian football. There's just so much to talk about. We will continue this discussion till this drama series ends. Sports this morning on Channels Television. Let's go on a quick break now. The U.S. Open is giving us reasons to also talk sports. Peng Shuai is living a dream for the entire Asian continent. Can she make it a reality? We'll talk about it when we return. Stay.